Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have to talk about Ezekiel Elliott and how he ran 22 miles per hour in a workout before rookie minicamp. And I'm here to tell you why we got to stop buying into this hype of some of these players in the offseason, number one. But number two, how 2023 could be the year that Zeke ends up being cut. And I don't take any pride in saying that. I'll explain myself for why I think that might be the case. Now, before we go any further, if you could do me a solid and like the video, doesn't take too long to do, and it helps it perform better in YouTube's algorithm, so thank you so much for that. Another thing, thank you all for 8,000 subscribers. I'm super grateful that everyone's tuning in and watching what I have to say, because you guys are what makes this thing go, and I can't do it without you guys. So thank you guys so much. Now, for those that are coming along and are now seeing this, over 77% of you guys that are watching are not subscribed. So if you want to come in and join the discussion about the Dallas Cowboys, by all means, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. So Ezekiel Elliott is in a weird situation at his point in his career. Has Zeke been the worst thing ever? No, he has not. I want to make sure I set proper expectations. However, the language that's been used by Stephen Jones, the way last year went, and how we're starting to see injuries appear. We're starting to see efficient, running back numbers up and down come into play. There's a lot going on, right? So we got to kind of go by this step by step. So to start off, what caused this entire video to be made? Back a week ago, Ed Werder put up a thing where Ezekiel Elliott watched rookies following his workout. At the start, he played most of last season with a partial PCL tear. He asked if Ezekiel Elliott is fully healthy. McCarthy said that I would hope so. I was looking at the GPS yesterday. Elliott reached 22 miles per hour on Tuesday. I'm going to just be honest with you. I do not care how fast someone runs in a straight line in an off-season wearing sweatpants. I don't really care. It's one thing how it was last year, where you're starting to see him do a whole bunch of other things, and you kind of saw it in practice. He looked solid. Now, I would not be doing my due diligence, as Stephen Jones loves to put it, right, if I were to say that Ezekiel Elliott is not the same player as he was when he entered the league. That's the truth. Zeke is not the same guy that he was when he came in, being the league's leading rusher as a rookie. 15, 16 rushing touchdowns, whatever the hell. Now, this isn't a slight saying that he's trash. Zeke hasn't had a year where he's had less than 950 rushing yards. He hasn't had a year where he's had, if you include total touchdowns, he hasn't had a year where he's had less than 8 touchdowns. Now, whether or not that's artificially generated because of the fact that you might have you-know-who from upstairs saying, give my guy the ball, which that is true in Cowboy land, but I'm not here to talk about that on verbatim, right? Look, the truth is you might see a situation to where if Zeke has one slip-up, they'll let him go. You look at the numbers for next year. The Cowboys can cut Zeke and it will not hurt them. And when you start to hear the language that Stephen Jones uses, and when he starts talking about how you're making a lot of money and how you were looking to draft players at that position, that's a cause for concern if you're in Ezekiel Elliott's camp. But you know how you avoid that? You get another 1,000-yard rushing season. You get 10-plus touchdowns. And if you're a fan of Zeke, as am I, you hope he does very well. But if Zeke gets hurt again, if Zeke, let's say, if he tore his PCL in this upcoming season. Again, similar to the same injury that we had last year, and the Cowboys elect to just start Tony Pollard, that's a problem. Because if you were willing to let Zeke play on that the last year, and now you're all of a sudden changing it up, especially now that you have it out in the contract coming up, that's a concern. So what we have to do is just settle our expectations because, I think I said this even last year, like we talk about how Tyron Smith, always in the best shape of my career. Oh, I'm in the best shape of my career. I've never felt this good before. And then he gets hurt again. Zeke is going to start turning into that, assuming that, knock on wood, he doesn't suffer the same injury or more, because I want to say 2020 and now 2021 are the only years where he actually had a legitimate injury. Now, the Cowboys, I'll give them props here. You drafting a running back extends his career, and you don't put so much tread on his tire, and at least he's been somewhat worth an investment compared to other running backs, if we're being honest. But that's not saying much. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, or rather if I'm Ezekiel Elliott, this is going to be a make or break year for him. And we have to keep an eye out on that. I understand that some of you guys might take flack. You might say like, oh, with Space Cowboy, Dak's making all this money. It's comparing apples to oranges, people. You're talking about a position in the quarterback position that is very hard to find a guy of his caliber. Once again, it's not easy, but running backs are one of the richest commodities to find in the draft. You can find good guys in later rounds. It's like with tight ends, right? It's like with some linebacker, like with some of these other positions, you can churn and burn. And I know, like, I want Zeke to get as much money as possible. I would love for him to just have an amazing year. But being real, we got to look at how the Cowboys do business, and that is going to be the biggest storyline of 2022. Is Zeke gone after 2023? Is he going to go through an Amari Cooper situation? Is he going to go through a situation like with a La'el Collins where you're just cutting a guy because, you just want to get salary cap space? And I know that we're comparing different players that have had different situations with the Cowboys, but trust me, I've seen the same song and dance before, and I don't want to, I don't want you guys to be shocked if it happens. So let's just brace ourselves for that. So that has been today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.